My name is Sir Topham Hatt, and you're listening to the Railway Series Book Club. If you'd like to be a really useful listener, you should subscribe to the brand new Railway Series Book Club Patreon, where you can listen to episodes like this one a day early, and get access to exclusive bonus episodes covering books you'll get to vote for. The page will be launching alongside the release of this episode, so head on over to the link in the description to subscribe.
So in the spirit of today's recording session, I brought into the booth with me the most appropriate toy for reading a Railway Series book, the All Engines Go motorized Donald, because I found it at Target, and it's neat, I guess.
Hope he'll be in the show.
Anybody else bring a Donald and or Douglas today?
I have Jeff.
I got both my Hit Toys Trackmaster ones.
Whoever's editing this, throw up a picture of Jeff.
I'll put up a picture of Jeff. I'm editing this one.
Thank you, Jamie.
Add a new picture of Jeff every time.
No,
says Jeff.
no!
I'm not doing that.
I don't think I have enough pictures of Jeff for that to work.
Take more.
I'm not gonna do that to Jamie.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that you should take pictures of Jeff anyway.
This is true. I should do that.
That is true. Everybody
take
loves
a
Jeff.
picture of Jeff on like a gray stone fence, like they did with the fucking K9 prop. Like,
okay, that I will edit it, because that's really funny.
So immediately before we started recording, we were talking a little bit about Doctor Who, and myself and Vivian showed Jamie the intro to K9 and Company, which, for those not in the know, was an attempted spin-off about K9 and Sarah Jane, which was released in 1981. That lasted only one episode. If you watch the intro yourself, you will probably see why it only lasted for that long. Just little things.
Fucking K9.
I saw the footage last night of Tom Baker swearing at K9 again on the timeline last night.
Mean to
great.
him.
Of course, you never fucking know anything when it's needed. Like,
Because you only know the fucking answer when it's important.
Why is he mean to K9?
Insufficient data, sir.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I feel like it's morally responsible to be mean to K9.
No! Don't be
Yeah,
mean
because
to him.
sometimes it'll just be like,
Insufficient data.
Listen, he's one of two things from Doctor Who I give a shit about. Don't be mean to him.
Okay, fine.
I hope whatever he's doing well. Because I don't think he's in Doctor Who anymore.
nah, he hasn't. He hasn't been in Doctor Who in ages.
Now watch as he's the next Nostalgia Bait regeneration.
I'd take that over Billy
I
Piper.
keep thinking you're gonna say watch it when he's the new nostalgia critic.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it, so you don't have to.
Welcome to the Railway Series Book Club, the podcast where we talk about the Nostalgia Critic. I'm Jamie, the Queen of Sodor, pronouns she, her. I don't know about you. I fucking love Donald and Douglas, and I'm excited to read this book a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Who's everybody else here?
I'm Vivian. Did you know?
Yes.
I'm a spooky ghost. My pronouns are she, her also. I like trains a reasonable amount.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew.
Today I
Anyway.
carried a fridge.
Oh no!
That's awesome.
It wasn't awesome, it sucked ass.
I rescind that then. Damn, okay.
Carrying fridges is not awesome!
Or something like that.
Eating babies is not cool.
I'm glad you could actually fucking tell what I was going for. All right, I'm Andrew. Pronouns they them, and today, well, as of the date that we're recording this, my time on the podcast has officially outlasted that of Shurigawa as Doctor Who. And talking of Doctor Who, we've got a very different twin dilemma on our hands today because we'll be reading the Twin Engines.
Yay!
Yay, hooray, Neville.
I love belabored references.
Still bullying children, eh?
Andrew, did you see the Tumblr Thomas ship thing that's happening where someone nominated Murdoch and Neville?
Yeah,
I did see that, yes.
Somebody...
That's fucking insane.
Like, I'm genuinely shocked somebody has thought about that ship that is not someone in Vivian's server who is in on the stupid fucking Neville bit we have.
Hello.
Have we even fucking posted
Absolutely
about the Neville
insane
bit
pull
in the
from a not
podcast? Like, when...
I feel like we've posted about Neville in the podcast server. By the way, join the official Railway Series Book Club Discord server.
Yeah, join the Discord.
Do that!
Join the Discord. Also, marvel at our wonderful new logo. We decided since it's the 80th anniversary of Thomas Train, we should get some fancy illustration-like artwork in that logo, drawn by our wonderful friend Duke of Benry Bay.
Yes!
Yay!
Yeah!
Big ups! Big ups!
Hell yeah!
Hi, Wolfie.
Hi, Wolfie.
Hi, Wolfie. Thanks for the art.
Hi, Wolfie. Go
Yay.
fuck yourself.
What?
Wolfie, I fucking hate you.
Wolfie, you're a bitch. I'm gonna kill you at Audrey X.
What? This is taking a very sharp turn in vibe. What the fuck?
I'm gonna
What do you
beat
mean?
you to
This
death
is-
with my bare fucking hands.
What do you mean? We're talking about how much we appreciate our friend. Like, what? I don't...
I don't think Vivian's capable of doing that at Audrey X. She's too weak.
What the fuck? What the Damn!
Was that bullet too strong?
Must have been
That was
must have
really
been too
funny.
weak to take it.
That was really funny.
In my defense, you're extraordinarily submissive. So an easy mistake to make. My apologies. Anyway, yeah, twin engines. How do we feel about the twin engines?
I like them.
I really like the twin engines.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really, I mean, I already really liked it, but it's kind of becoming more and more of a favorite through the years.
Yeah,
Like, the more I think about it.
I've always loved Donald and Douglas. Like, as a kid, I was obsessed with the Donald and Douglas titular episode on my Thomas and His Friends Help Out DVD.
Yep.
And, like, I thought they were so fucking cool, and I wanted all of their toys, but for the longest time, I only had, like, a fucking take-along Donald. Like, I never got the wooden railway ones until I was, like, 10 or so, and it took a few years for me to, like, get a Douglas. So, like, I only had take-along Donald for so long. But I was like, I want Donald and Douglas to hang out with my wooden train toys.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, I've talked about this before in Four Little Engines and Duck the Diesel Engines, about how those three and Twin Engines were my three non-98 single volumes that I had as a kid, and this one was my favorite out of all of them, because it was so cool having a book version of the episode that I liked so much.
Yeah. I think when I was very, very young, I had a take-along Douglas. I don't know for sure because my earliest memory of it is only being able to find the tender and not the engine. So I don't know what the fuck happened to him, but I got Take and Play, Donald and Douglas when those first dropped. But before then, I was like in chronological order. I think like I probably got I probably got like Wooden Railway Donald with like some of my first Wooden Railway stuff, and then some years later at like I think it was at my like local train store I got Douglas, and then or maybe it was the other way around. I don't remember for sure, but I know that I got my Trackmaster Douglas first, and that was at Christmas along with like Action Canyon, Peter, Sam, and Boko.
Based.
Which was fucking insane. That was the best Christmas ever. I'll tell you what.
Hell yeah.
And then the next, like the following March, after like trying to find a Donald online, at like my local Walmart they had Donald, and I was like, holy shit, Dad, they have Donald. Can we get Donald? So, and he was like, oh. Well, ask Mom how she feels about it. So we called her up on my dad's flip phone. I was like, Mom, can we get Donald? She said yes. So I got Donald. I've still got the box with Donald somewhere.
I beg of ye, Mother, I require Donald.
I need Donald. I need Donald.
Wonder how many children are going to be doing that right now, since he's, being distributed right now.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah,
I've also got the Bachman ones and the Ertl ones.
Yeah. We were joking about it earlier, how, All Engines Go Donald sure did get a toy in 2025, despite not actually being in the show. But, I think that does actually make this a pretty good time to revisit these stories, because, Donald and Douglas are fresh on everybody's minds right now.
Well, Donald is.
Yeah, but, people are also thinking about Douglas. I was certainly thinking about Douglas a lot when I was under the delusion that the All Engines Go diecast line would continue, and I was thinking, oh man, they should make a diecast Douglas to go with the Donald. That would probably be really awesome. And then they didn't make one, because Toy Team got fucking annihilated and replaced with guys who wanted to do classic-style diecasts instead, which is fine, but, really wanted that Douglas.
Most of them are shit.
Yeah, this line seems like it's only learned about half of the really good engineering lessons that could have been learned from the All Engines Go diecast, because those are really good toys, even if they were All Engines Go, and they don't seem to understand what made them good.
I would like to go back to when Take-Along was a thing.
Yeah. This is gonna be a little bit spicy, but I prefer Take-Along to Take and Play. If I'm really gonna split hairs on eras here, I prefer Take-Along to Take and Play.
Yeah, I
think that's a pretty common feeling, actually.
Yeah, because when you get into Take and Play, it's you have those first couple of years that are basically just Take-Along but slightly different. Then you get into the round magnet stuff, and everybody fucking hates that. So,
yeah, the round magnet stuff is shit.
Yeah. So, people like Take-Along more, because Take-Along was all just kind of one continuous streak of good toys.
The only thing I can think of that really Take-Along kind of blundered was Hero.
Yeah.
Well, I have held a Take-Along Hero before.
Nah.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, I don't feel passionately enough about Take-Along in general to really, say, well, I think that the Take-Along Hero is much better than the Take and Play Hero in these particular aspects.
Hey, Hazel, I know you're going to be watching this. Fucking
yeah, I'm not Hazel.
Sound off on the pod episodes channel in the server. What do you think? What's your Take-Along opinions?
Yeah, I need.
Thank you, Hazel.
What Take-Along opinions will get you the image of Flynn Rider surrounded by knives and scimitars?
What situation where only one engine was expected will get you surrounded by knives and scimitars? Do we want to jump into the forward? That's a really funny transition.
Yeah, we can
Sure.
do that.
Dear friends, the Fat Controller has just been having a disturbing time. He ordered one goods engine from Scotland and was surprised to receive two. They had both lost their numbers and no one knew which was which. So he didn't know which engine to keep. The author.
I love when the foreword is just reiterating the book's premise. Like, go girl, give us nothing.
Yeah. Go, girl, give us the thing we could have already read on the back of the book. Yeah, mate.
This is only gonna mean something. This is only gonna mean something to you, Jamie. But the phrase "Go girl, give us nothing" is permanently associated with Jet Ray in my mind.
I mean, yeah, that was definitely my reaction every time Jet Ray was on screen when we were
That
watching
and
Ben
the
10.
crowd goes mild.
Yeah, and the crowd goes mild. Yeah. God, Jet Ray is the most mid-fucking alien in all of Ben 10. Like, there's a bunch of
really
aliens
is.
that I'm not big on. Jet Ray is just kind of, like, almost funny in how, like, just mid he is. Because he is just, like...
He could never be Ripjaws.
Could never be Ripjaws. Like, Ripjaws
Ripjaws is
S
funny
tier.
because he's useless.
Yeah, he's funny because he's bad. And that kind of makes him wrap around back to being good. Jet Ray, like, sure, he has uses, but, like, he's also just... he's so boring. And he looks kind of dumb.
What are the other ones you didn't like? I don't really remember.
I didn't really like Stinkfly.
Yeah, that's true. You really didn't like Stinkfly.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember anymore. I don't know, we can probably cut somewhere in the middle of that and it'll be fine. I don't know.
Yeah, we can make it work.
Okay, time for page 1. Let's go.
Yay!
More and more people travelled on the Fat Controller's railway. More and more ships came to the harbours. Everyone had to work very hard indeed. The trucks complained bitterly, but then trucks always do and no one takes much notice. The coaches complained too. No sooner had they arrived with one train than they had to go out again with fresh passengers as another. "We don't know whether we're coming or going," they protested. "We feel quite distracted."
I fucking love this illustration.
This
Yeah,
is one of
that's
my
a really
favorite
good one.
illustrations in the entire Railway series, and like I've said this a lot during Little Old Engine, and I'm probably gonna keep saying it through this book, but like this is like in like my top 5. This is something that I would have a print of framed in my house.
Yeah, same. This is really fucking good. Like,
God,
it feels like an actual painting.
yeah, it.
Like, this is a real painting of a real railway station that just so happens to have James the Red engine.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that guy.
It's like I don't. It's one of those things which John Kenny does quite a lot that just I don't know makes what you're looking at feel so believable, even when like the people who are like sort of in the center behind the gate look quite sketchy. I hate being like one of those. Well, it looks so real. Just remove the face, people. But like, I mean, you already can't see James's face, so ha.
They removed it.
Yeah, they removed it, and you can't see it.
He looks so real.
He looks so real now. And I remember there being, I think it might have been on the Real Lives website that had like a little profile on each of the illustrators, and drew attention to the guy at the center of the picture here, going, yeah, hey, it's not just the engines that puff.
He's fucking going for it. He's lighting up.
Yeah, he's lighting the fuck up, man.
Smoke a fat
Same
doink.
with the guy getting his tickets checked.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
he's already got it, but
I think the lady in the foreground with the black coat with like the fur is really that's a really good look she's pulling off there.
yeah, she is serving. I like man in trench coat next to her actually with like the red shirt. Yeah. I think that's a shirt anyway.
Oh, I am just noticing the lady in like the red suit talking to one of like the I think that's one of the
Yeah,
engine crew. That's a fucking short
No,
book.
I think that's it's probably like just station staff. Like she's getting her ticket checked.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Because James's crew are just in his cab.
Okay,
The
but
man with the
there's a
green
person on the
waistcoat.
platform at the very edge. Like, on the left edge of the page, there's someone who looks like they're wearing the same uniform.
Yeah, but he's only wearing the same uniform as the guy
The guy poking
exchanging
out the
tickets
cab.
with the guy. Yeah.
Oh.
So
There's a lot of very nice people here. Very well drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, really beautiful.
I also do enjoy the crimson and cream coaches on the other side of the platform.
Yeah. It's like I'm.
I
Yummers. Yummers.
I love crimson and cream.
I love Crimson and Cream.
I love cock.
Yup, yummers. It's so yummers, guys.
Yummers. Yummers.
No one can say, grumbled Henry, that we're afraid of hard work. But we draw the line at goods trains, finished Gordon. Dirty trucks, dirty sidings. Ugh! Put in James. What are you boiler raking about? Asked Duck. I remember on the Great Western. That tin pot railway. Tin pot indeed! Let me tell you. Silence! Ordered a well-known voice. Let me tell you that an engine for goods work will arrive from Scotland tomorrow. The news was received with acclamation.
I like the dialogue here a lot.
It's
Yeah,
so snappy.
It's an excellent interaction. Oh, it's delicious.
And I think I forgot to. I think we were so busy talking about the illustration of the previous page that we forgot to talk about my favorite bit, which is that the trucks always complain and no one takes much notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause fuck them.
Yeah,
Fuck those guys.
Who gives
They're
a
not.
shit?
They're not part of the moral
They're not part of
world.
our moral world. Yeah.
Yeah. So that means that their lives are forfeit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck
I
you.
Yay!
I love these four complaining at each other. It's so good. It's a
Yeah.
really good illustration too. Lots of good faces. I love Duck storming up because of Gordon's words.
Yep. The fat controller with his brella.
Yeah.
His brello.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just it makes everything that's happening in the book feel so much richer, I would say.
Yeah. It's like this book feels like it's very well suited to the kind of dingy atmosphere that season 2 of the TV show had, which is, makes it perfect that it was set to be adapted that season, because they're so fucking busy and kind of
so busy.
They're busy, so busy their wheels don't touch the ground, and that
Took the bait.
that kind of atmosphere is just kind of perfect for this book,
Yeah. And it's also quite reflective of its time, because by late 50s, early 60s, when this was written, quite a lot of the engines on British railways were quite worn down, especially in the sort of lesser prioritized regions like the Scottish region.
Yeah.
As we're about to see. It's where you get that real dingy look on your steam engines.
Yeah, if you start looking into archive material from this time, they're just fucking covered in soot.
Yeah.
I have
Caked in
Cadbury chocolate fingers.
That's awesome.
You got a snappy chocolate finger?
Yummy, yummy.
Yummy, yummy.
That didn't feel like a suitable answer to my question, but you know what? That's fine. Actually.
I
okay,
do
I'll take
love
that.
that James here is just saying one of his 4 or 5 pull string lines, one of the few phrases you get when you push the button on his talking motorized toy.
Dirty trucks, dirty sidings. Ugh.
I'm a splendid red engine.
I'm ready for anything. You'd never see me dirty.
pull again.
Disgusting.
No, I'm gonna pull this again. I want to get a better phrase out of him. You cunt.
I did.
Welcome back to the quota.
Hell yeah.
That's how you do it. I'll say this now because I've still got a chance. So, I would bring my complete collection to school kind of often, right? In middle school, I had it out to this book during I think like before like one of my tech classes, and somebody else whom I knew noticed the story title and like asked me why the fuck it was Hullo. And I didn't know enough about northern accents to like at the time to go, well, it's a northern English thing. That's just sort of how they say hello and like I think like
Hello.
At least like Yorkshire, at least. But like probably other places as well. I don't know.
I love it. I love
I love hello. I say it like regularly. It's like properly in the vernacular. But yeah, no, like my blanket statement of I think it's just a British thing only raised more questions which I couldn't answer, but it was very funny.
Yeah. I quite like that they were going to title the adaptation of this story in the TV series Hello Twins rather than The Missing Coach. Everyone calls it The Missing Coach just because everybody associates it with, you know, that one still we had for so long that was clearly from The Missing Coach, but like Hello Twins is a much better title for combining these two stories together because we're saying hello to the twins.
Yeah. But there is also a missing coach, though.
Hello, Coach, missing twins.
Well, I like what and you know I'm gonna give a shout out to Reese Individual of YouTube for like combining the story titles to just be twins and a coach. I think that's quite efficient.
It's efficient. I still prefer Hello Twins, but it's nice. It's fine. It's a valid way of doing that.
Yeah, it's a good adaptation of the stories too. Quite like it. Yeah. I like what he does.
I agree.
Anyhow, that's oomph. That's oomph, whispered Percy. Percy, what the fuck are you talking about?
I have a lot of followers.
Why is everyone oomph?
I know a lot of people.
Aha!
Andrew, can I just tell you really quick?
Yeah.
I think so much about the audio of you as Thomas yelling, "Who the fuck is Dave?"
Yeah, that. You just keep buying all this stupid shit!
I'm sick of it, Percy.
I'm sick of this, Percy!
You are tearing this household apart!
Yeah, I do remember saying that one too.
And the discussion that I had with Don of Percy's painting, but Rosie's there instead of Toby, are some of the things that bring me the most joy in life. I'm just gonna throw it in a shredder. I don't even care. You know when he gets back from the harbour, he is going to be apocalyptically cross with us. Yeah, but he's cross about everything. It doesn't really matter. He'll get distracted in 5 minutes. It's fine. He'll see a bird, and he'll forget.
Well, yeah.
What the oh, hey, that's a bird.
Oh, very nice bird. That one's got feathers and a beak.
What was I talking about? Oh, well.
So the current socio-economic state of Bulgaria, right?
Hey, you listening to this, put Rosie in your Farquhar stories.
Yeah, do it. It'll be fun.
Do it.
Yeah.
Where the fuck were we?
I don't know. We kind of just drifted into nothing, really. The fat controller stared. Did you say
2 engines, Inspector. Yes, sir. Then send the other back at once. Certainly, sir. But which? The Fat Controller stared again. Engines have numbers, Inspector, he explained patiently. We bought number 57646. Send the other one back. Quite so, sir, but there is a difficulty. What do you mean? The 2 engines are exactly alike, sir, and have no numbers. They say they lost them on the way. The Fat Controller seized his hat. We'll soon settle that nonsense, he said grimly.
I never had the Railway series, like, Donald and Douglas stuff as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that they had original numbers in the Wild Nor'Wester videos, actually.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
But I remember thinking, oh my god, wait, they had different numbers? I didn't know that.
Yeah, engines have numbers, Inspector.
Yeah. I am very much in love with the Fat Controller's very pained, like, you know, engines have numbers, Inspector.
Like, here I am teaching you that 2 and 2 equal 4. Do you understand the situation, Inspector?
I love the way
quite
that Willie
so, sir.
Rushton. I love the way that Willie Rushton does it with just the engines have numbers.
Oh yeah! Look, I forgot that was how he did it. I didn't do my homework before this story. I was very, very busy these past couple of days, dear listener. So I didn't get to listen to all the audios and compare and contrast. But I will do for Missing Coach.
Yeah.
There's like a noticeable pause.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's really good.
Well, I think it's because there's a line skip, and what I think Rushton did was use that to his advantage.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I'm reading from the single, and it splits it have, not engines. In
I'm
that.
reading from scans of the 1989 edition, which which there is a line skip between engines and have.
Ah, my mistake then. I apologize.
Mm-hmm. No, it's fine.
No,
it's probably just like a thing of like different editions having different.
Yeah, you know, like you change it up for one book to the other, and
like
like
that.
you know, some stuff will shift around in the PDF. So
It's how we got there are 2 ways of doing this
yeah.
shit in Duck and the Diesel Engine, though, sadly.
So 57646 is an interesting number because
Yes.
the last of Donald and Douglas's class built was numbered 57645 under BR. So Audrey did a funny and gave Donald the BR number that came after that, 57646, and would later give Douglas the number 57647 in the iOS book.
Mm-hmm. Now, the interesting thing about these numbers is that, technically, they would have belonged, rather than 812s, which Donald and Douglas are, I'll say, more consistently portrayed as than the more refined version of the class, the 652s. Those numbers would have belonged to the 652s rather than 812s. And the difference between the two being just that the 652s have stronger frames and a different cab cutout and leaf springs on all 3 axles.
They all have springs on every axle? Like what?
No, they
alternative?
okay. They've got more springy springs on the drive axle. Or rather, the 812s have the more springy springs on the drive axle rather than just leaf springs throughout.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, Audrey's penchant for giving engines a number extending from the existing sequence of engines, you know, see also D199 and 7101, kind of makes me think that if he had thought to mention Duck's, Oliver's, or Boko's numbers in the stories he wrote about them, he would have given them similar numbers rather than the illustrators just drawing them with the numbers they saw on the reference models Audrey provided.
What would their numbers be if they did it that way?
Boko would be, you know,
Oh god, probably
D5720. So like,
yeah. Because I think
or
it only
possibly
does-
higher if Audrey wanted to
Because-
like give him a bit of extra buffer, like he did with 199 and 7101.
No, because I think they did only go up to 198, the peaks, right?
I think it was up to 196.
Alright. Oh, never mind then. So originally when I made my models at Donald Douglas back in like 2019, I was going for, well, they're 652s, not 812s thing. But I've kind of, I think when on my latest go of them, I did a little bit of both, because like I gave them the frames and like the frames, suspension, reversing rod, because that had to be changed because of the frames being strengthened and such. And I think that was it of the 652s, but everything else they've got is all just 812. Because it really isn't a great deal different. Although I think the 652s were given like taller tenders, but like I didn't go for that. 'Cause you can very clearly tell that they've got just 812 tenders.
And you're
They got kinda
really
mixed
talented
around.
and cool.
Y'all hear something?
Oh.
No, I think Vivian's right. I think you are talented and cool.
What? Okay, anyway. Oh yeah, it would have been D5720.
Yeah. I know my Metrovix. Wonder what
Yay!
Duck and Oliver would have been, though, because I don't fucking know where those numbers capped out.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think it's probably for the best that they got given the numbers they did, even if Oliver's was a bit...
It's best that they have fake identities, because otherwise that'd be a gigantic headache.
Yep, exactly.
Let me check.
Also, this
Never
is
mind,
Small
I can't be
Vivian's-
bothered.
Okay, yeah. Another thing about this page, another excellent illustration. This is...
Yep, another fucking banger. I love this picture of Charles so much.
It's so good. Like, he's fucking reaching for his hat, like, oh, god damn it, I have to deal with train bullshit. And I also do quite like this inspector here who looks like Die Station.
He does look a bit like Die Station, yeah.
Okay, the Panniers had multiple numbering schemes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So let's not even fucking think about that.
Yeah, so there's some
Yeah,
gaps.
that makes sense because of how many different loco building firms built different batches of them and such.
Yeah. Fucked up.
Like fucking North British, Vulcan, shit like that.
So if you wanted
Yeah.
Duck to be the very last Pannier, he would be 97. He would be 9800.
I don't think you'd want that because you'd have to call it cap that way, and that would make the Hornby model correct.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I've spent quite a lot of time modeling the Fat Controller's office as per the illustrations. So this picture and the one from Gordon Goes Foreign have been my touchstones, my go-tos, and yeah, it's just really, really cool.
I think is this one of John T. Kenny's best books?
Yeah,
I mean, all of
I think
his books
all-
are
I'd
really
say
good.
it is. I think
All of his books are his best books.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a real argument you could make that this is his best book. We'll have to see as we keep going.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see as we keep going. It's gonna be hard to finish recording this story because I'm gonna want to go on to the rest of the book.
Yeah,
Is this one of the best Railway series books? Maybe.
I mean, yes.
See, this is the thing. I love everything else in this book. I just don't like this story that much.
I mean,
I mean,
that's fine. It's
that's
just
fine.
the setup, but it does a great job setting up.
Oh, it does.
This is I was gonna save this for the end. This is by far the best. Let's spend a couple pages establishing the premise type story. It out of all of them, bar none the best. Like, it's not a great genre of railway series story to be, because typically those types of stories, your Scarloy Remembers and your Bluebells of England, typically those tend to struggle a bit in terms of, like, pacing and mind share. But this is fucking delicious with all the fucking, it sets the tone so perfectly that it also manages to kind of, like, ride the wave of how witty the entire book is.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, like, the fact that it, like, just starts out, it starts out with the Fat Controller being this shit mystery to solve that
Yeah.
I remember Dan saying this ages and ages ago, but something he's always wanted to see was, like, someone adapting the twin engines from the perspective of the Fat Controller.
For fuck's sake.
Really
That'd be funny as hell. I started writing on a car trip a couple of years ago. I started writing one told entirely through correspondence between the inspector and like people from the other railway, like the shed-master, whichever shed Donald and Douglas would have come from, like the the transport minister, shit like that. Just the twin engines, but told entirely through bureaucracy.
Honestly, I kind of love that idea. That sounds really interesting.
That sounds awesome.
I really didn't get very far into it, but I'd really want to revisit it sometime because it was quite fun.
If you really do revisit it, I'd love to see that, genuinely.
Yeah, of course.
The two engines greeted him cheerfully. "I hear you've lost your numbers," he said. "How did that happen?"
Money slyly slip it off, sir. You ken who it is." The engines spoke in chorus.
"I know. Accidentally on purpose."
The twins looked pained. "Sir, you wouldn't be thinking we lost them on purpose?"
"I'm not so sure," said the Fat Controller. "Now then, which of you was 57646?
"Well, that, sir, is just what we canna mind." The Fat Controller looked at their solemn faces. He turned away. He seemed to have difficulty with his own.
"These stupid fucking trains."
Jesus fucking Christ. They're really doing this to me
Charles
today.
is just fucking seething. Like,
No, okay, so my kids aren't telling me which of them left the TV remote in the toilet. Okay. Alright, I see how it is.
And,
I'm
I
so
think
fucking tired.
I think honestly that everybody likes to quote the Rev telling Terry Wogan that about when writing a story you've got to include something that the parents reading will appreciate as well. I'm paraphrasing obviously, but like I think that is this part of the story very much like speaks to that. As well as, I think, honestly, as well as what Sharon Miller was saying on her podcast interview about,
Oh, they interviewed Sharon?
They did.
Oh, that makes me happy. I'm glad for her.
She's really, really so lovely. I've been a Sharon Miller defender since, like, I don't know, probably 2019 thereabouts.
It's not her fault the stories she wrote were bad.
Yeah, everybody should
really
fucking
just
apologize to her.
It was really, I don't know, it was really just when like, Michael was telling me how sweet she was, while they were, like, writing and recording, Royal Engine, and that, like,
Aww.
just at the after party, just such, like, a kind, gentle person, like, yeah, no,
I'm glad they gave her her I'm glad they gave her the respect and the time she deserved.
Yeah, she was saying that, like, her favorite special was Misty Island Rescue. And, like, you know what? I don't like it, but, like, from what she said about it,
I see it.
I see why. I see why
the
it's her
writing
favorite.
in that special isn't great. There's so much I really like about it.
Yeah. There's a lot of at the very least, a lot of broader strokes to Missing
love-
Rescue that I quite enjoy.
Missing Rescue is a beautiful special, first of
Yeah.
all. Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the vibes of, some of the assets are a bit wonky, but I do like the idea of,
I like the smashed up wood
hey, what if there was just, like, an American logging railroad off the coast of Sodor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the thing. The Brenner team could have made the logging locos work.
They could have. Yeah. I think they just chose not to because it would have been too much.
They tried to make Stafford work.
Well, Stafford was a new toy at the time, you see. Their hands were tied. They had to.
They tried to make Scruff work.
Okay, well, that one's less defensible.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the point that I was making. What she was saying is that it more or less boils down to that Thomas stories are about real things, right? That like I'm now I will now shift into paraphrasing Sharon Miller. That any children's program could just be about like 11 minutes of the characters looking for their ball or something, Thomas stories are about things that you can connect to emotionally. And I think that's something that the Brenner team did extremely well as well.
Yes.
And I think like the way Brenner sort of explained his views on it as well, like really lined up with how I viewed his work. Just that, like, in that era, everything has a place, serves a justifiable function. Thomas works as Branchline, all that stuff, and it's a bit like the books.
Yeah.
And I'm losing the plot just slightly, but like, it's fine. That, like, yeah, Thomas stories are very much about real things, and that it's something that people can emotionally connect to. And now, to bring it all home, it's that, like, the parent reading this to their kid would very much recognize when, if applicable, at least two of their kids have gone, well, it wasn't me, and it wasn't me. Neither one is fucking throwing the other out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For whichever mishap has happened in the house that day.
They've closed ranks and they're standing together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I love this illustration of him looking down at them, looking at each other like, we fucking done it.
Yeah, like, the text says that they have solemn faces. This does not sell that. They look so fucking devious.
Well, you see, the thing is, right, this is after he's turned away, surely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's turned away, and they're looking at each other like,
now
we've fucking done it.
But, like, you can see the inspector there, too, just looking there like, oh, well. Alright.
Well, yeah, but he's not important, so...
Sure, he's not.
Sure.
They're just, like, they've gotten him so fucking annoyed immediately, and they're looking at each other like, mission accomplished.
We fucking did it. We've
achieved something. Do we want to talk about the phonetic Scots?
I like
Sure.
it.
I like
so,
the
like,
phonetic Scots, too.
It... Understandably, I have seen some American Thomas fans say that it is hard for them to comprehend it. Skill issue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is a skill issue.
It's a skill issue. I'm sorry. If you're writing Donald and Douglas and you don't give them the Scots, you're writing them wrong.
Yeah, like, there is something to be said about, like, kind of English imperial idea that, if we want people to recognize these characters as Scottish, we have to write phonetically about it. Like, that is, there's something to be said about that, but also, like, these are books that are made to be read out loud, and I feel like giving the cue to give them lively accents, like, for whichever parent is reading the story to their child, I think is a good call, because that way it adds fun to the being a child in bed and having the story read to you experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is... These books are designed to be audible.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know.
Today's sponsor, Audible! No.
Die! I'm usurping the podcast.
No, it's okay. It's just a joke. We would never let ourselves do a sponsor read for an Amazon product.
If you want to sponsor Railway Series...
Yo, hey guys, I just got this email from Jeff Bezos.
If you want Railway Series Book Club to promote your penis...
I've never actually logged into the Railway Series Book Club. Like, I don't think we link our email anywhere in our materials, do we? Like,
I don't know.
I do wonder if we've been getting sponsorship emails that we just haven't seen because none of us have ever logged into the email.
Well, no, I mean, I was just making a joke.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. Like, that'd be really funny if, like, fucking HelloFresh or whoever the fuck was like, oh, hey,
Goodbye,
we sent you, like, 5 emails asking if you'll do an ad read for our product, and you haven't responded. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Fuck, what?
I just word searched the word sponsor in the book club email, and there's nothing, so...
Okay. Cool.
Anyway. Now that the sponsored segment is over, shall we move on to the next page?
Be sure to subscribe to penis.com.
Dollar Cock Club! He swung round again.
What are your names? Donald and Dougie, sir. Good, he said. Then your controller can tell me which of you is which. Oh, you'll get no muckle help from him, sir. Why? He doesn't get no names, sir. Who could he? We only get ourselves names when we lost our numbers. One of you, said the fat controller, is playing truant. I shall find him out and send him home. Inspector, he ordered, give these engines numbers and set them to work.
He walked sternly away.
Look at their faces.
They're very smug.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, you know, in the text, they're explaining it. They're explaining the situation very. What? I forgot the word.
Perpendicular.
I am going to fucking kill you. I'm going to, like, actually fucking tear your fucking throat out and, like with my bare fucking hands like it's a goddamn Mortal Kombat finisher. And I'm gonna fucking stand atop the highest fucking peak and roar like a beast. Anyway. I will watch your god shiver as I reclaim his fucking territories in my name. Casually isn't the word I'm thinking of.
Coyly?
Sensibly. They're explaining the situation very sensibly in the text. Right? Like, look, how could he know? We only got ourselves at names so we lost the numbers.
So, like, do we think that's actually true?
Of course not. They're lying.
Yeah, like, they're lying out of
Probably.
their asses this entire time, but I do think the implication...
They're lying
of,
about
like,
the numbers, too, probably.
Yeah,
probably. Definitely lying about the numbers, but, like, you know, I think it's, you know, the idea of them not giving themselves names until they decide that they're never going to use those numbers again is, like, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm picturing
the
something
scent.
right now, okay?
Yeah.
Which is, you know, like, I hear you've lost your numbers. How did that happen? Oh, they slip off, sir. And then the fat controller looks over at their cab side, and there's just very noticeable remnants of, like, a paint scraper where the number used to be.
Very conspicuous patches of clean, like, unweathered black paint.
Yep. Yeah. I did something a little bit similar to that on my new ones, where I like made it so like the number was very clearly painted over.
Yeah. Just
I need to find the image
it's
of
so
it.
plainly obvious they didn't think this plan through at all.
No,
Yeah, 'cause, I mean,
which really
you know-
does set up the next story when you think about it.
Yeah, which they have a plan that they very poorly pull off.
They're fucking idiots.
Yeah. Like, the Fat Controller's just willing to humor them this whole book. That's, like, a huge part of the crux of it.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah,
fucking sick of these
there-
trains. If anybody is interested in doing funny art for book club, please do art of this.
The number
this.
fucking scraped off.
Yeah, just bare metal. They've not even painted it. It's just fucking bare
No
metal
undercoat.
on the cab side. Because they just got a scraper and just scraped the numbers off.
The power classification's still there, though, above, like, where the
Yeah.
number
Yeah, of course.
was.
Yeah.
That would never slip off. Don't be absurd.
Yeah, exactly. Numbers, though, those just get lost so easily, you know?
I'm just imagining, like,
And,
you
like,
know.
I mean, you know what they say about train spotters taking numbers? They take them.
I'm just loving the idea of, like, they say it, he walks slightly to the side of one of them, looks down towards the cab, sees just a bare patch of metal, looks back at them, and they just have these completely innocent smiles.
Exactly like the previous picture.
Yeah! And he's just looking up at them just like, I'm so fucking tired.
Looks up at them fucking squinting. By the way, something I've noticed about Donald and Douglas's lining recently, and this is while I was modeling them, is that the lining on the tender follows the curvature of the the top bit that flares out, and it runs along that.
Oh, so it does.
And that is why in the TV show there's just a slant at the front. Where logically there probably shouldn't be one.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't go up, if it doesn't reach that height, it would just be square.
Yeah.
I kind of like the slant, personally.
I like the
think
slant
it's
as
cute.
well.
I've got no problem with the slant. I'm just saying that hey, this is why the slant is there. Probably.
Yeah.
Definitely.
See, my only issue with Donald and Douglas is just that I wish they had water caps.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very funny seeing their workaround for that in Donald's Duck, though.
Yeah, the 1p coin.
Yeah.
One Bitcoin. I don't know what possessed me to say that. You can tell a lot about what the TV models were formed from in the previous picture, actually.
Yeah.
Because look at the firebox, the way it sort of flares out.
Yeah, it's doing that fucking thing.
That stupid thing that is impossible to model.
Yeah. That's
why I just
fucked up geometry.
Give them a regular fucking round top firebox.
Yeah, that is for the best. They have that on the next page.
Yeah, they do have that on the next page, don't they? But yeah, this also, the previous illustration was also what gave me the slight indication of them being 652s, because you can see that the cab cutout is a lot more curved than in future pictures.
Yeah.
Which is how it is on the 652s. It's just it's like a very curved cutout instead of just being bump.
God, I just fucking love the way Donald and Douglas look. They're very handsomely drawn by Kenny, and they are very handsome locomotives to begin with. And as much as I've realized, their later blue is very symbolic, and I do appreciate it. The BR black look is just so fucking good.
Yeah.
They are, they look... I think that's part of why I liked them as a kid, because they looked like they looked premium. Like, you know, they look professional. They are here for business, and I think that is awesome.
They do stand on business here.
They do. Like,
they stand on they stand on business. Funny business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Blue Donald and Douglas I respect more than I respect the all red Skull OE engines, but I still prefer them in black.
Yeah.
When I think of Donald and Douglas nowadays, when I close my eyes and I think about Donald and Douglas, I picture them in blue. That's just where my heart is now. I do still adore them in black.
Yeah.
You should follow your heart. However, you should follow your heart 500 miles away from me.
I mean, they are 500 miles away from you, Vivian.
I will make a joke about, like, some sort of restraining order later. I don't know when. Maybe it'll
just
you know what?
be in, like,
maybe
6
it'll be
years.
during fucking branch line engines. Who knows?
It'll be in like 6 years.
Yeah.
Just in like a random call.
Yeah, by the way, 500-mile restraining order. What? I never forgot. Forgot what? I forgot.
It's
me, Lucy.
I also quite like that Donald and Douglas have the cycling lion on their tenders. In the
Yeah.
It's cute.
Early crest.
I always remember, like, this is the thing. So, like, I had a compilation book that had this story in it, right? Mm-hmm. But I didn't really read it. I just kind of looked at the pictures, and I remember thinking, I wonder what that is. That's not their
I was always very curious about early crest when I was a kid. I remember I was looking at. I have a very distinct memory actually of looking at my wooden railway Boko while I was next to my mom in bed one night, and I had my flashlight on. There's me canceling out the Britishness of me saying "mum" just then with the very American flashlight. Anyhow, yeah. And I was looking at the crest on the side of my wooden railway Boko, and I thought it was like a basket of fruit or something.
And they put it on the fruitiest engines.
Of course.
Slay.
I love fruit.
And cock.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, I'm Boko.
It's me, Boko.
It's me, Lucy. It's me, Lucy.
I quite like these Donald and Douglas faces.
Yeah.
I don't think they had this kind of like smug face in the TV series, which is kind of weird.
Nope.
Like Duck kind of has one like that. I'm pretty sure. Either that it's a face that you made, and I'm misremembering that as being real.
You probably are.
Yeah. Okay.
But Duck has the one that's like the big smirk, the big cheeky smirk that he's got. And like Pop Goes the Diesel, where ho ho ho.
I think maybe what I'm thinking about is like the Percy face that's kind of smug. Like Donald and Douglas's version of that.
Yeah, it is. Which, by the way, also I think is my favorite Percy face. If not for the cross one, actually. Those two are my favorite Percy faces.
The other thing is, like, I think it's very funny that this entire story is predicated on Charles being like, no, actually, I don't want 2 engines for the price of 1. What the fuck is going on here? Because, like, if this is how you know that he is a different man than Topham Hatt the First. Because Topham would have been like, okay, sure, let's fucking roll with this. They'll never fucking send me to jail.
We can write it off.
Yeah.
It's like the bit in the story of, like, on Tumblr of them stealing Bear, where they talk about how he stole all of, like, the express rakes and Thomas and Edward and the station clock.
Yeah, so much of the early stock is just flat out stolen.
And the station clock? No, that one fell off a truck.
Meanwhile, Charles is an entirely above-board man who does not have time for any of this tomfoolery.
Yeah. I think about the writing of and the station clock. No, that one fell off a truck. Oh, he must have been feeling daring that day.
That's that one. That's that one post, right?
It's the post of them stealing Bear, where they just very hastily write D5702 on him.
Yeah, D5702
yes.
is one of my favorite stories. Do we want to move into rankings?
Yeah, we can move on to rankings.
Okay, so I already said basically what I was going to say earlier, because, like, it's a very short premise-establishing story, but unlike the other entries in this genre, like Scarloy Remembers, or Bluebells of England, or what have you, this is by far my favorite, and also probably the best one, because it, like, not only does it just ride the wave that it establishes for, like, the kind of fun tone that this book has, like, I don't know, well, I wouldn't necessarily, it's a fun tone throughout the whole book, because it gets a little bit tense later, and I quite enjoy that as well, but this is a very good note for it to start on, and it flows very well directly into the next stories, which, makes sense why they were going to bundle those two for television adaptation. But, like, honestly, even this establishing chunk does work pretty well on its own. Like, it's witty and fun, and, like, I think I might give it a duck? Yeah, I'll give it a duck.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, it's duck.
So, this is the thing, is I think the writing here is really, really good. But I'm coming at this from the perspective I would have had as a kid, and I feel like if this was my bedtime story as a kid, I would have felt ripped off.
I mean, yeah, it's...
That's fair,
I mean, it doesn't... That's fair. I'm kind of overlooking the fact that it doesn't necessarily have, like, a proper ending. It just... If this and The Missing Coach are one story, this is the end of the first act.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's just, like... I don't feel like it is a satisfying story to read to a kid on its own.
That is fair.
Like, I have a good time with it, but, like, it is limited in that, Because I feel like... I feel like the two purposes that the story has of setting up the rest of the book and being a satisfying story in its own right to read to your kid are kind of at odds with each other. Like, I think it's good, but I feel like it's lesser than it could be. So, like, I would probably only say, like, a Percy, personally.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, this is a very readable book.
Yes.
Like, there's a very clear through line through all the stories, that really, I mean, closest we get to, like, a breather of sorts is just the Deputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is, like, an incredibly strong hook for this book. It does at least most of what it sets out to do of, introducing the conflict of the book and being entertaining extremely well. I couldn't give it any lower than a Toby, so I'll give this one a duck as well.
Okay.
Duck, Percy.
Truck, tanker, truck.
Oh, wall!
Anyway, next time on the Railway Series Book Club, we will be taking a look at The Missing Coach. I'm sure everybody's going to be normal about that. I mean,
I'm sure it's going to be really easy, and we're not going to spend several hours on a single page.
Yeah, like, I mean, what even is there to say about The Missing Coach? Yeah, like, who even knows? Who even knows?
Hey, I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Do you know? Let us know. In the Discord.
And in the comments.
In the comments down below. Don't forget to click below, like, comment, and subscribe. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.